You know, they moved to this new town because they got ran out of their old town. Weird things started happening. People following them around, threatening messages. So the family took it as a sign to leave, so they sold their house. They left. And they bought another house in a new town. Started over. Well, the wife ends up getting this really cool new job in this new town. Not far from home. Seems like a dream come true. And at first it was. Things were good. And then, all of a sudden, payments aren't coming in as frequent as they should. And it seems like they're having some issues. But they keep with it. They stick with it. She doesn't leave yet. In fact, they still like the company, and they still like what the family is doing. So much so that an opportunity comes up, and the wife says, we can invest our money into this company, and we'll get 20% back in a couple weeks. And the husband really wants to support his wife, especially since she's gotten this really cool new job, and so he wants to support it as much as he can. So he agrees, even though the amount invested is almost their entire life savings. But he believes. So, per the wiring instructions, he sends a wire to the company. A couple weeks pass. The money doesn't come in. She says, oh, well, it's coming. They're just having some delays. We're waiting on some certain funding issues. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. He believes. He still believes her. As time goes by, things start seeming strange. He starts noticing that his wife's leaving her wedding rings at home more. He brings it up to her, and she says, oh, I just forget, honey. It's not a big deal. It's nothing. I'm just forgetting. So he goes, okay. More time goes by, and the wife starts telling him about this new form of parenting. She says, yeah, there's this thing I heard called co-parenting, and it's really cool. I think we ought to start talking about it. And then the way that the wife describes it, it sounds good. Sounds like it just means that you work together, raising your child. So the man goes, okay. Doesn't even look into it. Yeah, we're co-parenting. More time goes by, and this money still hadn't come back, the investment. Husband's starting to get a little concerned about why things aren't happening the way people are saying they're supposed to be. But the wife tells him, I got this. So he trusts her. All of a sudden, something else happens at work, and the company needs some money to help pay for some stuff. So the wife uses their credit card to pay some bills. About half as much as they invested. The husband's starting to get more concerned because now that their life savings is almost depleted and they're in more debt than they were before. But he continues to trust his wife. Eventually, the wife's sister gets pregnant, and the wife decides they're gonna throw a baby shower for her. A nice one. Pay for catering and decorating and host it at their house for the big family. Husband works at cleaning the house, even redoes the bathroom. As he gets close to the baby shower, a couple weeks prior, the wife starts telling him that she's having weird dreams, that she's having these dreams. And in these dreams, the husband dies. He assures her, "I'm not going anywhere, honey." She mentions these dreams over and over, about 3 or 4 times, different times. Well, eventually, it's a couple days before the baby shower, and the wife goes, "I had another weird dream. I had a dream that someone tried to kidnap our son at the baby shower." Well, the husband definitely takes notice to these dreams, and he goes, "Well, I think maybe me and the son and our son will go do something else. We'll go do something, and you guys enjoy the baby shower, and we'll come back when it's done." So they do. They make sure to go find something else to do for about 3 to 5 hours while the family's having a baby shower at their house. When the boy and his father finally come back home, family's gone. Comes through the door and looks at what's food's left from the catering. And most all the food's gone. Spread was cleaned out pretty good. But there was one thing that there was plenty of. Seemed like nobody touched it. It was these meatballs. And she had the caterer make these Meatball Special. The caterer worked for the company that she worked for. And he had made them specially for the shower. So the husband has a couple. He's not really hungry though, so he doesn't really finish it all, but he has a couple. And that night he had the worst headache he'd ever had in his life. He wakes up the next morning, his head's pounding. Feels like an icicle poking in his head. Well, the wife tells him, "We got to take all this catering stuff back to the caterer." So he helps his wife gather up all this catering stuff, pots and pans, that kind of type stuff. And they go back to the business where the caterer's at. And they meet him in the parking lot. And when the husband goes to hand the caterer some of the pots and pans, the caterer looks at him almost as if he saw a ghost. Family decides to go to a state park, enjoy the rest of the day. But the husband's really tired. His head's still pounding. They come back home, and he decides to take a nap. He wakes up the next day. And he just can't shake the feeling that he's wondering where that investment went. By this time, it's been a year since they invested this money. She says, I got this, honey. I got this, honey. Don't worry. Now he's starting to wonder if she really does. Anyway, more time goes by. And all of a sudden, there's a glimmer of hope. A payment comes in from the company. That's supposed to be a start for returning the investment. He says, yes, it's happening. Okay. But then he gets something in the mail. Gets an envelope in the mail. And he opens it up. And it turns out his wife took out a commercial loan for the same amount of money that they invested. He nonchalantly shows her the envelope and asks, what is it? She says, oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about that. He lets it go for a couple days, and then he comes back up to her and is more blunt about knowing more about that loan. And she tells him, oh, well, I took out a commercial loan in my name to help the company. And part of the deal was I'd give us part, and then the majority of it would go to the company to help. I got this. By this time, he's really wondering what is going on. And he's also wondering, well, if our first investment hadn't come back, and that one payment that we got was really just a loan that you got, well, where did the rest of that money go that you got loaned out? And then, why did you pay us through the company you were working for? Why didn't you just put the money in our account directly?